defection of the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, to the African Democratic Congress has begun to boost the party's political strength in the South, with no fewer than 8 federal lawmakers reportedly set to officially join the ADC, bearing any last-minute change of it. Peter Obi joined the ADC in Enugu on Wednesday, calling on Nigerians and opposition groups to come together under a broad national coalition to rescue Nigeria from poverty, disunity, and democratic decline. Explaining his reason for leaving the Labour Party for the ADC, Obi stated that his decision was driven by patriotism and a desire to rescue Nigeria from the APC. In a post shared on his verified X handle and monitored by Dialogue, Peter Obi said that 3 serving senators and a federal or several members of the Federal House of Representatives were present at the defection ceremony, signaling their readiness to join the party. During the defection ceremony, Dialogue gathered that 8 federal lawmakers, including 3 serving senators, also collectively defected to the ADC. If you recall, Peter Obi had in July of 2025 joined other opposition leaders to present the ADC as a coalition platform to challenge the presidential candidates of the APC and the incumbent president Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 general election. But the question still remains, what should or what will this defection mean for the ADC? And what outcome would it have on the 2027 general election if given the nod to represent the party as the party's flag bearer in the general elections? And are the obedient movement ready to move along? Well, these and more as it concerns the movement of the ADC and is all about. And we're talking about Peter Obi, ADC defection and its impact or would-be impact on the 2027 general elections. That's what we're looking at as a major discourse today on the show. We're looking at the defection of the candidate, or rather the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the general elections, the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi, that he defected on Wednesday. And many will say it's indeed a tsunami that has indeed taken place and indeed will shape the political space. But anyway, that's what we're having, and you do know, and it's not proper if we do not have a guest to help us look at this critically. I will have no other person but the former Labour Party governorship candidate in the general or 2023 general election. I was talking of no other person but His Excellency, Deacon Ken Pella. Good morning and welcome to Atlantic TV, sir.
Thank you, good morning.
Well, anyway, my first question, as we look at the defection of Peter Obi into the African Democratic Congress, that many are already saying it's more like a tsunami that is making the political space a bit shaky, especially about the ruling party. But I think it will be proper, and also for my guests, for my viewers, to know whether you are a part of the ADC already, or did you move along with your principle? Let's know where you are at the moment. And Nigerians really love, and Deltans really love to know all of that.
Well, for some of us, I remember one day you asked me and I told you, Obi is my party.
Okay.
All right? So for some of us, wherever he is, that's where we are. I was actually at the event where he defected on the 31st. Okay. But then, you know, all politics is local.
Yes,
and so even though I was there, I still needed to come and do my own at home. And that will be, my formal defection will be happening tomorrow. Wednesday the 7th in Asaba at the Orchid Hotel.
Okay.
And I think I should also mention that I'm not moving alone. I'll be defecting with majority of the National Assembly, House of Assembly, and local government candidates of the Labour Party in the last elections.
So it's going to be a massive defection from the Labour Party
Massive.
into the African Democratic Congress.
Massive.
Well, anyway, it's nice we know that, and you said tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh, that would be good to know. But anyway, let's continue, because you talked about defecting right here in Delta State.
Yeah.
But there's still many questions being said, and many are asking the question of why did Peter Obi defect into the ADC in Enugu when we know he's from Anambra and his ward is Agola ward 11 and Nyocha local government area of Anambra. So it's a big question many Nigerians really want to understand.
Yes, it was to make a statement. If you watched it, it was live on Arise TV.
Okay.
And if you were there, majority of the Southeast politicians from the opposition were there.
Okay.
Former governors, former deputy governors, former senators, current House of Reps members, current, State House of Assembly members, and virtually every leader of note from the opposition, okay, came together, and he led them into the party.
Okay.
So it wasn't a case. So, for example, Senator Baride,
Yes.
who was the PDP, okay, and is now in Abga, moved
Along with him.
All right. So I mean, you had Governor Egu of Ebonyi State. You had Achike Udenwa of Imo State sitting together with Emeka Ehedioa. They were all there. All right, and a statement was made. Now the chairman of the occasion was one Okeke, former President General of Ohanese, and he said it was historic that declaration was being done in Enugu. All right, and I think it was historic and symbolic. The man is not a local champion. It could very easily, the same way, with due humility, I would say that I could have gone to my local government, but again, at this point, the whole state is my constituency, and so I'm doing mine in Asaba. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I love that clarification, because Nigerians would really love to understand why that defection was done in Enugu rather than Anambra. But I still want us to return to what he said during that day of defection. Now, Peter Obi stated that his decision was driven by patriotism, and I rather want to take his words so it doesn't look as if I take him out of context. And he said, decision to rescue Nigeria from the APC, I rather go by what, like his words, my decision is guided solely by patriotism and also my desire to deal with national interest. Also, I call on my political associates, the obedient movement, and opposition leaders across the country to join this broad national coalition under the ADC. History will not forgive our silence in moment of national peril. So he said. Now, many would also argue that he can as well actualize it in the Labour Party, which he did in 2023. So they are really now concerned. Why not still stick with the Labour Party? Actualize what you said, patriotism, pushing Nigeria forward under the umbrella of the Labour Party rather than going to the ADC. So why the defection to the ADC?
All right. One reason is the fact that we do need a broad coalition.
Okay.
When evil begins to run rampage, not one man cannot stop it. Okay? The dynamics of the situation in 2023 are different from the dynamics of the situation today. Okay? The dynamics of the situation today is one where we have state capture in every ramification. We have an executive that has captured the National Assembly, that has become Iran. Have you ever heard about a forged bill before? Have you? And I'm using my words. Yeah. It was a member of the National Assembly that came and said, what we passed is not what is gazetted. Until today, we are able to clarify. Today, this morning, I read that as it is, we probably have like 3 versions of the tax bill. Nobody's addressing the issue. It has never happened before, but it's happening in Nigeria today. And we don't have a National Assembly that can stand. Chances are that if this matter goes to the judiciary, it's already also captured. In those circumstances, one man can't do it. We've got to have a coalition of people coming together. Now, that coalition of people could have been anywhere. Could even have been in the Labour Party. Again, but there's been talk about, allegedly, as they say, viruses being injected into the parties and giving them problems. I'm not going to say anything about that, but the key thing is that as far back as July, like you said, the Labour Party, the ADC was unveiled as the vehicle that the coalition partners will use to rescue Nigeria. And so all he has done at this point is to, and at the time, during the unveiling, the meetings before, he had said after the last election of the Labour Party in Anambra, he would make his move. And symbolically, he made it on the last day of the year. Yes. Well. All right? Signifying that this new journey we're going to start in 2026 is one where we should all take together to rescue Nigeria.
Okay, now, you've just mentioned why he went to or rather made that move to join the coalition. But we also do know that the Labour Party as it stands is not a part of this movement. We had, before now, internal crisis in the Labour Party. We had the issue of Apata. Yeah. We now came up with the issue of Aburi. Mm-hmm. And we also understand his statement immediately after the defection of Peter Obi to the ADC. Mm-hmm. Now, many Nigerians are wondering, is it the turmoil, was it a part of the reason he defected to the ADC? Because many felt the squabbles, the push to control the Labour Party were all accumulated to his issue of the defection and not just forming a broad coalition itself.
Okay,
to address that.
You need to understand how we got to where we were in the Labour Party.
Okay.
We had a situation where the tenure of the chairman, Abure, would have expired even before the 2023 elections. It was extended because of the elections. In extending it, it was extended to, it would have expired again, I think in June, March, April, May, June, or thereabouts of the 2023. But again, because we were in court, it was again extended for another 1 year. All right? Now, before that 1 year expired, against the advice of our principal, a convention was held, which Some would say followed due process, some would say did not. But a lot of the new energy, and I'm sure you would understand what I mean by the new energy. The new energy that came into the party with Peter Obi, that led to the success of the party in the first place in the 2023 general elections. A lot of that new energy was, for lack of a better word, sidelined in that process. So that's the genesis of what we have. Now, that began the shaky issues and dragged for a while, till the point where, at a point, INEC was not recognizing Abure. Prior to the Ondo general state elections. And so you then had a situation where, to save the party, all right, Governor Oti, in consultation with Abure, with stakeholders, there's been, not with Abure, with His Excellency Peter Obi, with other stakeholders, the Labour Congress and all that, and a lot of us candidates and all that, stakeholders came together and set up a national caretaker committee. All right?
To the party into the emergence of the national working committee.
Now, that process culminated at the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court gave a judgment that has been, I'm not a lawyer, but has been interpreted in various ways. Okay? Now, the judgment was that internal democracy, the parties have ways of resolving their matters. But also in that judgment, talked about somebody's tenure having expired. And if your tenure expires, make you come out. Which, as far as we are concerned, it was interpreted to mean that his tenure had expired. And so the internal process should be followed. That internal process involves the internal organs of the party, which is the neck. And so the Labour Party, the Labour Congress, the neck, the only surviving member of NEC was His Excellency Governor Oti. And nominees from the Labour Congress and TUC and co. And they met. Now, in spite of the Supreme Court judgment, in spite of those processes, we still had a stalemate. Okay? The point I made earlier was that, again, if we didn't have that problem to start with, chances are that the Labour Party could have been the vehicle.
Okay.
We may not be going to the ADC.
Okay.
The Labour Party could have been the vehicle.
Because that's the question many Nigerians are asking.
You see, part of what a lot of Nigerians do not know is that some offers were made to negotiate a renewal of the Labour Party.
Okay.
All right? What has happened eventually in the ADC, where the whole executive stepped down.
For the coming on board of
of a coalition.
So it's more like a new.
They stepped down. They're still involved and all that, but they're no more members of the executive. The chairman and his executive. Now, for you to build this broad coalition, we would have needed a new Labour Party. But those in the Labour Party were not ready for such. And you can see it in their statements. Nobody needs to tell you. Today, anybody who is discerning, the man who brought life into the
Labour
party,
Party.
is now a non-entity, is to be abused, is to be denigrated.
Well, anyway, would you say, because you just highlighted the problem that is in the Labour Party, but if you also do understand, it's not just the Labour Party that's in crisis. The People's Democratic Party is also in crisis.
True.
So would you say there is, because it's been alleged that maybe there's a third hand
Yes, viruses are injected into.
in all of these
That's-
stop the party from forging ahead?
If you notice what His Excellency Peter Obi said, one of the things we need to rescue Nigeria from was the decline
Of
is
democracy.
the decline of democracy. You have a situation where democracy is being deliberately stifled. Kill the opposition parties. Okay? Either coerce people to join theirs, one way or the other, eliminate opposition
And make them not viable.
and make them not viable. Well, God no be let them happen.
Okay, well, anyway, okay, let's leave that allegation because the
Now you talk about, not me talk about.
well, it's been said allegedly said in some circles. So that's why we had to bring it up to get your view on that. But let's leave that, but come back now to the defection of Peter Obi into the Labour Party. Now,
into the
ADC. Now, just yesterday, the obedient women came out to say they will not, and they said it in loud voice, that they will not be second feeder to any candidate in the ADC. And they said they will never settle for a vice presidential position in the ADC. And it's more like a response to what was being said by the obedient leader, national coordinator, and I'm talking of no other person but Tanko Yunusa, when he said, irrespective of what happens, Peter Obi will still remain in the Labour Party. But he has come now to say that statement was malicious and misrepresented the fact that he never said anything like that. So let's leave that. That's not where I'm standing on. Now, where I'm standing on now is we have a likes of Atiku Abubakar now in the ADC. David Mark, who is the national leader of the African Democratic Congress. But we also have Rotie Miamichi, who also declared his interest to vie the presidential ticket. He said that way back in July of last year. And we have a whole lot of persons, like Kwankwaso has also come out to say he will vie for the presidential ticket, but he would also, we don't know how true that is, not mind being the vice president under Peter Obi. So we still don't understand. We'll see how that is. Now, my question is, don't you see all of these rattling the boat of the ADC? See many strong political blocs all vying for that position?
No, I don't. When the APC was set up, when the APC came together as a coalition to bring change, the change we won't kill us. Yeah, when they came together to do that, you had Kwankwanso, you had Atiku, you had Buhari, all contests for the presidential ticket.
Because then it was zoned to the north.
So it's democracy. Do you understand? Now, in democracy, everybody says their own. Do you understand? And at the end of the day, you would have a contest. Now, I'm an obedient. So, why would I want to say, na my Oga or nothing? It's basically because I believe my Oga is the best.
Okay.
It's basically because I believe that he's the one that will ensure we win. It's basically because I believe that amongst all of them, he's the one that not just us, the generality of the people out there trusts that can change this country. All right? And so we believe that if he is not the one that gets the ticket, the chances are that we will not win.
If it is not the candidate.
If he's not the candidate, the chances are that we may not win. And let's be frank with ourselves. If anybody wants to be truthful to himself, he will know that man won the 2023 elections. He will agree that he has only gotten more popular. They will say that, okay, so popularity is not what you win elections with. That's what they talk about 2023. Oh. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
So Nigeria is evolving. All right? So we would say yes. If it's not Peter Obi, count us out. Because the truth of the matter is that Najaki work you make we do to start with evil. What are we talking about? Would if the PDP had kept the gentleman's agreement that had built the PDP to where we are, would we have the APC today? Would Bola Tinubu have won in 2023? If they had allowed the zoning formula to work, to be followed in 2023, and Atiku had backed Peter Obi, for example,
rather than split the votes,
he left the PDP in 2014 because he said it is the turn of the North. So why come and drag when it's supposed to be the turn of the South? You understand? So to answer your question in very simply, the politics within now, we must talk. It's a war of voices. It's a war of opinions. And at the end of the day, we'll do a contest.
So you do not see any implosion at the end of the day?
No, I don't.
Okay, now, let's now come to the New Year message of the national chairman of the African Democratic Congress. And I'm talking about no other person but Senator David Mark. Now, he talked about restoration of hope. He said the coalition...
Not renewal of hope.
Not renewal. I have to specify because we know different parties use different slogans. So please, let them not take that out of context. Now he said, I'd rather go to what he said. He said the coalition was on a rescue mission to restore hope, democracy, and accountability in leadership in the country. Which brings me to this question. Are we in the deep waters as it stands, as a nation?
That's not a question.
I'm the devil's advocate.
Now I talked earlier on about the tax bill. We are at a point where people can admit it. The international standard for defining poor is earning $4 a day. By the time you check it out, that amounts to about 3 million naira a year. Poverty. The tax bill taxes 800,000 naira upwards a year. In a country where you have 130 million people plus multidimensionally poor. We have a country where for the first time ever, 2 years ago budget, they never implement and finish. The 2024 capital budget, I think it's 70% that
of the 2025, yeah, that will now be shifted to the 2026.
That was shifted to 2025.
70%.
2025, nothing has been done. Shifted to 2026. Has it ever happened before? You're asking whether we are in deep waters? Make we drown finish first?
I will plead with you, but I have to ask the questions. And I need to do my job. Okay, well, let's still remain there because many also of the argument that most of these persons we are now seeing in the ADC were former leaders of either the ruling party or the People's Democratic Party. Somebody like Nasir El-Rufai, Rotimi Amechi, that was a pivotal person in the last administration of late President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yeah.
And Nigerians are wondering, what difference will all of this make? Is it not a change of nomenclature, or come on?
You've just said what justifies my position. At the end of the day, is who the leader is that makes the difference.
Okay.
At the end of the day, who will be the leader of that team? That's where the buck stops.
Okay.
That's where we're saying that the only person that can lead this rescue mission is the only person you cannot find a stain to his name. Is the only person that has led 2 years as governor. 2 terms as governor with accountability. Is the only person that in his 2 years as governor,
2 terms.
2 terms as governor, sorry, he left 75 billion. Or is it $75 million?
In the coffers of the state.
Apart from him, the only other governor that left money behind was Yaradua. He's the only person that EFCC don't get anything. That's the reason why we are saying that that's the only person that can. Nobody else that has ever had a stain to his name, nobody else can lead that rescue mission. Okay? Now, you would agree that typically the government takes the imprimatur, the character of the leader.
Of course.
The kinds of things we are having in Nigeria today, we don't get them before.
Yeah.
Have we heard of a forged tax bill before? Do you understand? The kinds of things we're seeing now haven't happened before. So in the same vein, when we have a leader that is taintless, for lack of a better word, all those worries where you worry now, not going to happen.
Okay, well said. And I still want us to remain with the ruling party. Because as of 2nd of January of this year, we have 28 states under the APC. And there's every tendency that come next
week. Let them become 36. Make them become 36.
The Kano State governor.
No problem.
Might go into the APC.
After all.
So what are your chances?
Just listen. Let them become 36. Not be this country we did. How many governors did the Labour Party have?
Just one.
How many did we have in 2023 before the election?
Oh.
Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
We didn't have any.
Yeah, at all.
All right? So it's not governors that make you win elections. At all. They still want to continue the way it used to be. They don't realize.
So do you feel they are shrinking the opposition?
That's the plan. To make it look like, after all. But you see, it won't work. It didn't work in 2023, no matter how much they want to. You see, there's this saying that if you tell yourself a lie enough, you believe in it. So they are believing their own lie. But they will be shocked. I tell people that in 2023, they didn't see us coming, so they said it was a surprise. In 2027, they will see us coming, but they won't be able to stop us. It will be a people's revolution. In 2023, did we have the kind of hunger that we have in the land today?
No.
By 2027, people will be fighting for their survival. And they will realize that the only way they will survive, make tax of 2026 begin enter first now, on top of the shege where we don't suffer. By the end of 2026, people will be, they will be stoning these people on the streets.
Okay, well, anyway, it looks as if we've talked so much about the federal and indeed national talk on the ADC and the rest. And I feel it will not make any sense if we do not come back home and talk about Delta itself. But before we do, we're already having many persons. And I don't want to prompt you to say, but I'm a bit curious to ask. Because as it stands now, if you definitely defect to the ADC, which you definitely do tomorrow, Deltas will want to know, would you vie for the governorship position? That's the question. Because the reason I'm asking this, we already have someone there that is saying he would want to go for. And we know it's not that person, but Great Ogboru. He did so on the 11th of December last year when he said he would be vying. So Deltans really want to know, with the momentum we had in 2023, when the state had a close context, will it still repeat itself come 2027?
Okay. You in one breath, you asked several questions.
Don't mind me.
You've asked me this question before under slightly different circumstances. And I said, yes, I believe I'll be putting myself forward. Basically because I believe I have a plan.
Okay.
I believe that Delta could be much better than it is today.
Okay.
I believe that, so definitely at the time I did say most definitely I would put myself forward. Okay. And I still stand with that.
Okay.
But I did say something earlier when we talked about the national level, and I did say that in democracy, you hopefully if we have internal democracy right, the best person will emerge. All right, so if you look at, I am choosing my words very carefully, I will put myself forward.
Okay.
And subject myself to the internal democracy of the party.
Okay.
At this point, my focus is not on me becoming governor. I don't really care who becomes governor.
Okay.
All right? I'm not desperate to become governor.
Okay.
But I'm desperate, like my principal will say, to see Nigeria work.
Okay.
In my lifetime. I'm 60-something now. Since I have yearned for a better country. When I was much younger, Nigeria was better than it is today. So, part of what keeps me going is the belief that evil cannot continue to prevail. And the only reason that will stop evil, the only thing that will stop evil, if people like me come out to stand against evil. All right? In that process, we would expect that the best person should get there. Who will do the best for Nigeria? Who will do the best for the state? I believe I am that person. I will sell my ideas. And if the people say, yes, you will be the person to go, I will go. If at the end of the day we say it's somebody else, and I believe that person will carry Nigeria, and we carry Nigeria and Delta to where it should be, most definitely, I will back that person and ensure that Nigeria gets to, and Delta State gets. We've had 22 years of democracy.
Uninterrupted.
Uninterrupted. In that 22, I'll give a simple example. On Sunday, I was talking to a group of people. And I've heard some people say that, which brings me to Delta. Sooner or later you will ask, so let me get there. Oh, we don't get doctor, we don't get lawyer, we don't get other people, they don't give us bridge. This one will give us bridge. And I asked a simple question. The 3 bridges in Warri. Last I heard was about 75 billion, which as far as I'm concerned is highly inflated. But let us take it as 75 billion. 75 billion not reach 2 months allocation now.
That comes to Delta.
To Delta, no. You not reach 2 months, so we don't they build those 3 bridges for 3 years, so where the remaining money?
Well,
so in the country of the blind, they say the one-eyed man is the king. So maybe we see small things and we think it's, but we can't continue with this mediocre. That's why we're where we are. From 1999, we've got to change the narrative. We've got to give Delta the best. Like my principal would say, public money should be used for public good. But what is happening today is far from that. There's a lot of waste. There's a lot of corruption in the system. I mean, they say when the witch cries in the night and begin die for money, who kill her? We begin here 1.3 trillion naira. Next day, they join Meta APC so that your sins can be forgiven.
Well, anyway, in case you are watching us, it's dialogue and we're having a major talk. But I will not let that go because I'm still returning back to Delta.
I don't wrong.
No. I'm still coming back to Delta State because with what we know, the 2026 budget will be 1.729 trillion. And what the Delta State government is saying, they are going to use 70% of that for capital projects.
Okay.
And 30% for recurrent.
Calculate 30% of 1.739 trillion.
We're talking about close to 300 and something or 400 and something billion.
What do you want the 400 something billion do for overhead?
So I just want to. Do you pick holes? It looks as if you just.
I already did.
You took the answer out of my mouth.
I already did. I've been saying it all along. It's not only the percentage, the absolute figures don't even begin to make sense. They don't. Why would you? Do you need 400 billion for? Waste, corruption. The one way that they corrupt for the capital not rich.
So, where do you feel Delta needs to go as it concerns development now?
I still think we're far from it in the sense that even when you look at the budget, there's no reason why, and we've done 3 years of this government. Yeah. In that 3 years, there's no reason why Delta should not already have uninterrupted power. How it is wrong. There's no reason in this world, none, why Delta should not already have uninterrupted power. That is the driver of development. In the same 3 years, parts of Abia already have uninterrupted power.
And they don't have what Delta has, allocation.
All right? In the same 3 years, Abia has begun to acquire moribund industries that were broken down or acquired by, and they work on resuscitating them. Vision. Development is not about roads. Building skyscraper or building roads to nowhere, building flyover, building. If person even we don't. Where are our internal roads? Majority of the internal roads in Delta are still bad. They're not the ones that are being fixed. So even if you drive good road, reach your house, and you not get light, you go enjoy them. Do you understand? So without a holistic plan, and I keep saying that, you might just be throwing the money away. We may see 1.37 trillion in 2026 and see what looks like visible development, and the people are still poor. And people still can't eat. So where have we got into?
Well, anyway, Deacon Ken Pella, we can talk, and honestly,
You know now, if we continue.
the day will run all through, and honestly, we'll be talking for close to an hour now.
I see.
And the program is a 1 hour program. But I will not let you go if we do not have your final thoughts. You've just talked about the state, which you've asked so many questions that I feel Deltans will sit down and want to react. But I want us to come to the national level, because if we do not also talk national, the state will be nowhere.
True.
I want you to talk generally to Nigerians. Yes, we are going through a whole lot. Insecurity is hitting us hard. On the mind, we've had small reprieve from the United States, but just on Saturday, 30 Nigerians were killed in Kasuwa, Jaji, in Niger State. The whole market was razed to the ground. As it stands now, women and children are still with the bandits being kidnapped. So we are being faced with insecurity on one hand. The economy, as you say, well, anyway, I will not read out the statistics. On the mind, they said there's beautiful projection at the end. 4.49% is what they are expecting will grow this year. And but like you said, 70% of 2025 projects.
So where the growth will come from?
Well, anyway, okay, okay. But my question now is, what should Nigerians do? Should we clean jump to the hope?
No, we should look at the restoration of hope, not the renewal of hope. It's not a laughing matter, really. I don't need to paint the picture. We live it every day. The picture of despair, we live it every day. The picture of insecurity, we live it every day. Nobody wants to go by road. We live it every day. People can't go to their farms. We live it every day. People are unable to afford to eat. Nigerians live it every day. And it's a result of bad policies, bad planning, bad implementation, subsidy OT law without thinking. We are living it every day. All right? So there's no need to paint that picture. What may not be obvious to Nigerians is the decline in democracy. The fact that the National Assembly has been pocketed. The fact that under normal circumstances, if a president comes and says, after saying we've met our revenue target, and then comes back and says 2024 will not meet budget, 2025 has been rolled over to 2024 has been rolled over to 25, 70%, 2025 we are rolling. The Assembly not talk. It's the fact that we can have a president declare a state of emergency before going to the National Assembly. Remove a democratically elected governor on one excuse. And the governors of the opposition go to court, and Supreme Court deliberately waits till that 6 months to complete. What Nigerians may not realize is that we may be feeding a tiger of life presidency. Because this one win now. The National Assembly will do his bidding. Anything he wants. So, your question is, what do I tell Nigerians? So what I want to tell you, Nigerians, is that our future is in our hands. The next few months, we need to decide to stand against the evil that is prevailing in the land. The hunger is just the beginning. Because this hunger, we will leave it for long if we allow this presidency to go beyond 2027. So we all have to stand. Mobilize. Mobilize to stand against that evil that wants to destroy this country. To stand and mobilize to stand against that evil that is prevailing in the land, that evil specter of a possible life presidency. Your future is in your hands. We are the only ones, you and I are the only ones that can stop it. This next election should be Nigerians against those in government. We must drive them away. Thank you very much.
Well, anyway, that's more like wrapping it up on the show today, in case you're part of it. And we talked about the recent defection of the Labour Party candidates in the last general election, Peter Obi, to the African Democratic Congress, and what it will mean for the general election come 2027. And honestly, that's not where we landed. We landed talking about major issues, not only in the political space, but also issues confronting us as a people, and most especially those issues, or rather those major questions that should be asked, especially as it concerns Delta State. And on that note, we need to thank no other person but His Excellency. We're talking about Deacon Ken Pella. You do know is the Labour or former Labour Party governorship candidate in the last general elections 2023. And well, anyway, we're having a major one come tomorrow in Asaba, like he said, where he will be formally undermining. He was with Peter Obi just last Wednesday when he defected to the ADC, but he will be doing his own formally in the states come tomorrow, Asaba it is. And then he will, not just only him, but major critical stakeholders will also be joining him to move over to the African Democratic Congress. But anyway, we really need to thank you so much. We know how busy you are, but you needed to honor us, and you came to our studio in person to join in on this lovely discussion. We truly appreciate your time with us. And like Oliver Twist, you do know, this 2026 will be coming to ask for more of your time.
No problem.
To talk about critical issues, not just to move the nation, but the state forward. We'll be more than happy to, if you can really honor us and oblige us on that. But thank you so much for honoring us. Well, for me, it's a wrap on the show. You do know how we love it. Please go send your comments and your contribution as it concerns this discussion. What are your take as it concerns it? Go share, like, and indeed comment. The different social media handles are already there on your screen. Let's get your view on it. But for me, Michael Gobadia, you know, it's a real long one and a nice one. We'll see how we'll do this come tomorrow, but remember the news will come shortly as much as trending. Well, anyway, Messi is already ready. So don't go anywhere. Stick around and still be with Atlantic TV. Viewpoint it is.